Hello everyone, my name's Joe Neat. I'm the executive producer on Sea of Thieves, and we wanted to start a new series of videos really where we were just talking about the kind of top status of what's going on Sea of Thieves at Rare, within the team, like our top focus, how we structure the team, and kind of some of the top talking points and bits of feedback, and really just how we're going to be delivering Sea of Thieves and informing everyone at home how that's going really. So I've got my laptop here to the side that I'm going to keep referring to. Hopefully I've muted it and it's not going to keep pinging meeting reminders. So first up, I wanted to talk a little bit about today's release. So we're into this rhythm of weekly updates to the game, and today's release is focused around adding more customization options to players. So, previously we've been focused a lot around bug fixing or hitting some of the top launch issues that we've had in a lot of our updates, and now we're looking at getting into that rhythm of adding new little features, adding new content as we move forward, and really growing on the kind of the base of Sea of Thieves that we launch with. And so we're adding new customization options across player customization options, across ship customization, across weapons, and we're also giving this custom kind of launch crew Eye of Reach. It's going to be available in the shops for anyone that's playing at this time. It's a time limited thing. It will just be for 1 gold. So if you're playing around this time and you've been with us kind of since the start, get in there, get this kind of cool thing. It's only going to be available for a couple of weeks, I believe. That's just our way of saying thank you to everyone that's been playing along with us and coming on the Sea of Thieves journey. Aside from the customization options that we've added to the game, there's been there's a number of fixes, but some of the highlights for me are we've stopped you being invulnerable during the mini tutorial when you first start the game, which we had seen some instances of people abusing, which is where they were basically just waiting in the tutorial state, hanging around an outpost and being invulnerable so that anybody would join. And it kind of looked like they were almost hacking or cheating within the game, whereas actually they were just not going out of the tutorial state. So we've solved that. We've also nerfed the skeleton accuracy on cannons, because we've heard from skeletons at a distance were slightly overpowered. There's been some great memes on Reddit about that, and so we should have addressed that for players, but obviously love to hear people's feedback. Another little thing, a little quality of life improvement, is the bell on the small ship has now been moved to a slightly different location, so when you're going and interacting with the ladder, you're not going to be accidentally ringing the bell all the time. That's in this week's update. Aside from that, I wanted to give a little bit of information just around the kind of current team's focus. So since we launched, obviously we were tackling a lot of the top launch issues for the game, taking on some of the top feedback points, but really we're into this rhythm now of really kind of forward-looking and working on content that's coming for the Hungering Deep, but also the content updates beyond that. We've actually changed the structure of how the team is formed really to enable us to deliver as much kind of cool new content to players as possible. So the team's now split into 3 separate teams. So there's one team working on the Hungering Deep update. There's another team working on Cursed Sails update, and another team working on the Forsaken Shores update. And so the way the teams are structured is they have their kind of major features that they're looking to deliver for that update. They're also working on the weekly events within that kind of time frame and period, and they're also taking kind of top feedback points being fed into them. So as we look towards our May update, which is the Hungering Deep, that team's working on those major features. It's looking at kind of the weekly events beyond that too. But I would consider that to be like a medium-sized content update, because it's something that the team's been working on since soon after launch, looking to deliver it in May. But then if we look beyond that to Cursed Sails, and we look beyond that to Forsaken Shores, obviously those the teams that are working on those content updates have a bit of a longer lead time in terms of before those features and content is delivered. And so those are going to be larger content updates, and that's the rhythm we want to get into. So as the Hungering Deep team finishes their work up in May, they're going to be moving beyond Cursed Sails, beyond Forsaken Shores, and they're going to be starting work on the next content update that comes beyond that. So they're going to have a much longer lead time again to deliver more features and more content. But that's the rhythm we're getting into. So each team kind of has their goal, they deliver that content to players, and then they move almost to the back of the queue, and then they're starting work on the next big kind of chunk of stuff. Lots of cool stuff going on at the moment with the Hungering Deep itself. some really cool kind of videos and images being shared within our team updates of the work in progress stuff. Lots of iteration on the stuff that's going there, really trying to deliver a cool player experience. Every day we're looking at that, we're tuning it, we're iterating it, like to get it into the shape so we can then ship it to players. But our intent is to deliver that in May, and then we will start our weekly events after the Hungering Deep. And so you think about that, we deliver the Hungering Deep update, hopefully everyone has a great time, and then we'll get into that rhythm of weekly events leading us through to the next content update, and deliver that, and then through to weekly events. So that's really going to be our rhythm from here on in. Alongside the content updates, alongside the weekly events, we'll generally be always delivering quality of life improvements to the game. So a few of the things that are in progress at the moment, some of them based on feedback and some of them just based on improving the experience. So yeah, public and private crews is something we've talked about for a little while as one of the top feedback points, enabling people to choose whether they allow strangers into the crew or they just want friends. So that's something we're testing right now, and we're hoping to get that into next week's patch. Alongside that, a few other things. So one of the things that our kind of engine team's been working on is reducing patch sizes for people. So we're hoping to enable that in the next patch, so it should be smaller than the ones that have been kind of preceding it. We're also working on a couple of other small things that will just generally improve the experience. So one is allowing you to hand kind of resources to each other, so you'll be able to give a banana to somebody else or a piece of wood, etc. And also something that I think has been requested by quite a lot of people from a kind of sneakiness perspective, is being like that we want to hide nameplates when you're underwater. So if you're swimming towards kind of another ship, you won't be able to see their gamer tag through the water itself, enabling a bit more of that kind of stealthy gameplay when you're swimming up, maybe with an explosive barrel and stuff. Yeah, so we're hoping to do video updates like this pretty regularly, just informing everybody of what's going on across the team. And as always, really keen to hear feedback around what could we go into more detail on, what areas have we not covered that you'd want us to cover, what stuff did we cover that you thought was really boring, but generally just like let us know how we're doing in terms of sharing information and updates with you. So yeah, it's an exciting time. You know, we've launched just over a month ago. The entire team is working on Sea of Thieves and working on future content, and really looking forward to delivering some of the stuff that we've got lined up for you. So yeah, exciting times, and I'll see you out on the seas. Cheers.
Like and share if you enjoy the video and think others might benefit from this, and of course subscribe and hit the notification button if you are new to the channel and want to be notified every time I post a video.